This episode brought to you by Upstart, the revolutionary online lending platform that shows you're more than just a credit score.
To me. Please, 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 please.
Alright, fine!
Yes! Alright, let me just boot it up.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember, so you don't have to. I guess Jubilee just did a new ad for Xavier School of the Gifted, and she wanted my opinion on it. You know it's a little odd to be reviewing an advertisement, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. What commercial special are you up to this year?
12 if you count the Christmas one, but what does that matter?
Just look this over and tell me what you think.
At Xavier School for the Gifted, we provide a home for mutants of every kind.
For years I've said that I shouldn't have to parade around in this human form, that I should be able to show the world what I actually look like.
Wait, hasn't she tried to kill you guys a lot?
She agreed to do this when I said she could show her true form.
Oh.
Now, for the first time, I'm gonna show the world my true form. Good news, I'm totally fine staying in my human form all the time.
Wait, what was that?
Oh, the stupid timeline must have been altered again.
Seeing as how I was raised with Xavier as his loving sister.
Loving sister? They sure didn't act that way half the time.
I'm happy to be at Xavier's school until my contract's up. I mean, until it's time to move on.
There's even more satisfied mutants.
I know it seems almost silly being here, as my mutant power is to adapt to anything, which basically makes me immortal.
Oh, guess it does.
But Xavier's school has still helped me immensely, even though I can never die.
I died stupid fast, going out like a little bitch.
What? Then how the hell is he still alive?
Ugh, the timeline's turned us into a horror series now.
I must defeat a giant CG bear in a mental institution because that's what being an X-Men is all about now.
So, what do you think so far?
I think the Star Wars movies have more consistency.
Okay, let me re-edit some of this to match the timelines. Give me a min.
It's hard to have a fluent franchise when things keep changing up. When Bryan Singer's X-Men premiered in 2000, it was absolutely perfect. For the time. People weren't as open to comic book flicks, so some of the more fantastical elements had to be scaled down to lure more moviegoers in. Over the years, though, comic book movies have exploded, and are surprisingly still going strong, with people accepting, even demanding, that film adaptations look as huge and epic as what was on the page, even if it might be a little silly. This almost seemed to happen with what many consider the best X-Men movie, First Class, bringing in the energy, color, and wild imagination the comics were known for. But while the film did well, it didn't do smash hit well. Part of that may be it didn't have many of the big X-Men names fans wanted to see. Wolverine! So Singer was brought back to direct Days of Future Past, combining the old cast with the new cast. The ones that survived. Yeah, you thought Last Stand was a bloodbath? Only 5 of the First Class cast members survived for future movies. I still blame Ratner. The film was creative and entertaining enough, despite they probably should have done one more film with the new cast for this to flow better. But I get it, you gotta keep mainstream audiences interested, and you don't know how long your most popular actor is gonna be playing the same character. I understand where they're coming from. Where I don't understand where they're coming from is with 2016's X-Men Apocalypse. First off, we already saw who's gonna live in the last movie, so this apocalypse has some pretty low stakes. Second, while comic book movies continue to move forward, hell, even the X-Men movies continue to move forward, this one decided to take us back to that safe, serious, more grounded X-Men universe that Singer had started, despite some comic booky elements that clearly wouldn't fit.
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Of course not. We're about blue spandex around here. Where you give the other Singer films leeway because of when they came out and what they did for comic book movies, this one feels weirdly behind the times, with boring fight scenes, boring melodramatic characters, and a boring story. Even the next film seems to mock how boringly predictable they've become.
You're always sorry, Charles, and there's always a speech, and nobody cares.
Yeah, you were off by one film, but I still agree with you. In fact, box office-wise, these titles should have been switched. So how do we go from wild new energy back to the same old, same old?
Okay, I think I figured this out. Here's a re-edit.
Being from the future, I'm excited that Xavier has utilized my talents to go on many exciting adventures. Nope, I'm just a cameo now. Looks like we'll have to give all that cool stuff to Kitty Pryde.
Nope, I'm a cameo too.
Cool!
This is X-Men Apocalypse. We open on ancient Egypt, and I'm just gonna call it, unless you're this movie, CG pyramids are the kiss of death for your film being taken seriously. We see the ruler named Apocalypse, played by Oscar Isaac, is using other mutants to transfer his consciousness and powers into to grow stronger and live forever. Hey, remember when mutants were only discovered in the 60s? Glad to see there were no records of any of this eons ago. But to be fair, those Egyptians were famously bad at documenting stuff. But he's betrayed and the tomb is sealed, resulting in his followers being origamied and Mars attacks to death. He's preserved through anime lines, and we transition via a pretty creative passage of time told through James Bond's enemy's gun barrel. It's odd, but I kinda like it. However, the imagination stops there as we cut to the 80s, keeping to these films' style of each installment taking place in a different decade, despite none of them aging. And we're given the ultimate line of quality. The greatest, most natural way to get across exposition. You know what it is!
As everyone knows...
Oh my god! How many times does this have to be addressed? There is no line lazier to get across information than as you know. Because as I and everyone has said a million times, if we all know, why is it being said?
As everyone knows...
As you know. As you all know. As you may know.
As you may know.
As you know.
As you know, I conducted a raid on the Great Library.
And you know what's ironic? This is being said in a school. They probably don't know. That's why they're there, to learn stuff. You didn't even need the worst line ever written, you idiots!
Can I please go to the bathroom? I think there's something seriously wrong with my eyes.
Something is also seriously off with my dubbing.
You wanna eyeball my girl?
I'm just gonna keep knocking. Still knocking. Is this what bullies do? It's my first time. Does it show? This is, of course, Scott Summers with his powers going nuts in school. Hey, if you're gonna steal from X-Men films, steal from the best. But in East Berlin, we see Mystique, played again by Jennifer Lawrence, looking to rescue mutants who are being forced to battle. Who remember isn't fat from his mutant powers, he just put on a lot of weight. Oh, who cares? We actually saw the fight in that one. I'm not gonna lie, I thought a battle between Nightcrawler and Angel would be a lot cooler than this. But maybe that's because I don't care a thing about them. Nightcrawler is one of the most easily likable characters in X-Men history, yet all he is here is a worried face, nothing else. And Angel, I'm not even joking, has more development in Last Stand than he does here. I at least remember him cutting off his wings, fighting with his father, saving him at the end. This dude fights, and...
That's about it.
Best save him, Mystique. They have so much to offer that we can forget.
Meinst du das?
Next time I'll actually hit you. She helps him escape, but meanwhile in Poland we see Magneto, played again by Michael Fassbender, has made a new life for himself. With a wife and daughter he's passionately writing obituaries for in his head.
Good day.
Better now.
She was kind and generous, always patient with her husband. Killed by a falling building, evil mutant. No, humanity. It's always humanity. What am I thinking? Yeah, Fassbender is still great in this role, but his new life is so clearly manufactured just to be taken away. You might as well show his cute daughter feeding deer. Oh, come on! This can't be the 80s, as somebody would have seen Commando and wouldn't rip off them ripping off Snow White! Jesus movie!
Where did you learn that song, Papa?
I learned it from my parents. And one day, you'll sing it to your children too.
Oh, come on, Dad. I'm 8, and even I know what's gonna happen to me.
And here, with you.
It's my clench locket. I will hold it tight in my hand when you... don't die.
Daddy.
I'm just hoping someone somewhere hasn't seen a movie yet! Meanwhile, Scott, aka Cyclops, is taken by his brother Alex, aka Havoc, to Xavier's school where he bumps into Jean Grey, played this time by Sophie Turner.
I just heard you in my head.
I'm telepathic. I read minds.
Well, stay out of mine. I don't need some weird girl creeping around in there.
He's the most hated X-Men. Why? They're also greeted by Hank, played again by Nicholas Hoult.
Whoa, what happened to the big blue furry you?
I keep him under control now.
That's code for I didn't want to put on that damn makeup.
Oh, the Jennifer Lawrence motto.
Exactly. Cyclops is introduced to Xavier, played again by James McAvoy, who wants to test out his powers in the most safe, controlled, highly populated area on campus.
My grandfather planted that tree.
I think that was probably my favorite tree.
Does that mean I'm expelled? Oh, on the contrary.
I'm going to murder you.
You're enrolled.
You'll find I'm rather insane in these movies. There's a jet under the basketball court and I slay all of you in the future. We're all about consistency here. And because these movies still have no idea what to do with Jean, she just acts tormented again because everyone thinks that's all we want to see out of her. I just saw a sneak peek of Dark Phoenix. We all so screwed.
Oh, this is perfect! I just edited the scene where Jean talks about her experience at Xavier's school.
As one of Xavier's closest students, I try to be the heart of the team by listening to everyone's problems and helping them through their emotional journeys. So I basically offer no advice, but everyone tells me I'm important.
Damn it! Stupid timeline!
Though I have a generically kind personality, it'll serve as contrast when I become angry and psychologically tortured. I've always been angry and psychologically tortured.
Okay, hold up. This does bring up how the films never got Jean right. It's not that Jean is a phenomenal character or anything, but you can clearly see what her role is. She's the Counselor Troy of the group, someone who can read minds and uses it sometimes to attack, but more often to heal. It's not as cool as, say, Gambit or Rogue, but it's still an important component, and both the comic and TV show utilized it.
What happened isn't his fault. It's not your fault either.
Do you think I did the right thing?
You did what you had to do. So did they. You're supposed to be resting. Even you can't heal this fast. You're doing the best you can, but you're no good to the professor when you're like this. Relax a little.
She helps people out by listening to them and being the words of kind wisdom. That's why the Phoenix Saga left such an impact, because she was so understanding and patient, and becoming a power-hungry mass murderer was very jarring to see. But in the films, even when she's played well, she's still either just the prize or crazy. Just because other characters are drawn to her for no reason doesn't mean we'll be drawn to her for no reason.
Well, what would you prefer? Yellow spandex? Good news. We now wear yellow spandex.
Hey, that stuff comes in handy. You never know when apocalyptic dishes may need to be washed.
Back in Poland, Eric's co-workers figure out that he's the famous mutant terrorist.
Czy to ty? Czy to ciebie zwą Magneto?
Actually, it's Magneto. Damn it! His daughter tries using her powers to scare them off, resulting in the most 1 in a million shot of an arrow piercing his daughter, going through her back, and stabbing his wife as well. I'm sure there's a fly that got impaled at the end of that too. My god, he's really trying.
He does know this is the 9th of these films, right?
This is my first appearance, and even I'm phoning it in. He turns his clench locket into a revenge locket while in Egypt. Apocalypse is resurrected by some sort of cult, and he saves a young thief who will end up becoming Storm. I do enjoy building you up. Get it? Because you're building? It doesn't matter, you're dead. Want to know how dumb this film thinks you are? Xavier visits Moira McTaggart, who explains to him how if Apocalypse is real, he'll gather 4 horsemen to complete his mission.
Some kind of apocalypse.
The end of the world.
Yes, they actually think you don't know what apocalypse means.
Some kind of apocalypse.
So what? We're some kind of X-Men squad?
The end of the world.
Yes, I work for the CIA, Charles. I know what apocalypse means.
Well, as everybody knows,
Oh, piss off!
Speaking of which, Apocalypse goes with Storm to her hideout and catches up on history by touching the TV.
What are you doing?
Input, input, input. Woo! Woo!
False gods. So much like the comic, Apocalypse's powers are a little vague. I guess he can search the worldwide TV, upgrade mutants, and wall people, but we're never given the limit of what he can or can't do, which doesn't make him the most intimidating threat. His design I also don't think is as bad as everybody was making it out to be. I mean, it's not great, but the original's not the easiest design to work with. My biggest problem is just his height. If you told me this guy was going to destroy the world, I'd believe it. If you told me this guy was going to destroy the world, I'd say with what, a Papa Smurf rendition of King Tut? I'm not going to lose sleep over this dude. It's been over an hour and a half. I guess we can cut back to our third build star.
Always good to see your face, even if it's not yours.
I was just about to do the time warp again. Mystique decides to take Nightcrawler to Xavier's, where he's introduced to Cyclops, Jean, and Jubilee?
Woo! Finally a time period where my clothes make sense. Kinda.
Yeah, it's just that...
What?
Jubilee's now the same age as Cyclops, Jean, and Storm? Which technically means she's older than Gambit, Rogue, and Kitty Pryde? That feels wrong somehow.
Oh, come on! I'm still the same age in the other X-Men movies.
Hey, wait, that's a good point. One of the things altered by the timeline is when Jubilee was born? In fact, Angel's born at a different time too? This doesn't make any sense.
Look, I'm about to take them to the mall and actually give this movie some personality.
You're right, everyone's been so mopey and down in these movies. Let's finally connect with these characters and show they have some humanity.
I'd like to go to the mall.
All right. Where does he keep his cars?
Oh, let me guess. We don't see them go to the mall, do we? The one time we can actually give likability to anyone and it's thrown away for costume upgrades.
Well, there is a scene of us exiting a movie.
Empire is still the best.
Well, at least we can all agree the third one's always the worst.
Oh, I see what you did there. You mean the one that practically ignored Angel? Turned Psylocke into a villain, killed off half the cast, botched the Phoenix Saga, made Storm pissed off, had Mystique switch sides, forced Jean to do angsty faces, was incredibly disjointed, and changed a ton of shit from the comics? Yes! Imagine nobody learning from that!
Well, at least I'm not a vampire.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
During these economically turbulent times, people are looking for a way to be more financially secure. So if you're still needlessly throwing money every month at high-interest credit card debt, it's time you checked out Upstart, the revolutionary online lending platform that knows you're more than just a credit score. Now is the time to find out how low your Upstart rate can be to help pay off high-interest credit card debt. Unlike other lenders, Upstart can reward you based on your job history and education, in the form of a smarter rate. You don't need a degree or diploma to apply though. Upstart lets you skip going to the bank because it's completely online. They offer loans from $1,000 to $50,000, so you can consolidate your debt into one easy fixed rate payment. Upstart makes it fast and simple to check your rate. Since it's just a soft pull, it won't affect your credit score. The hard pull happens if you accept your rate and proceed with your application. The best part, if the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. Right? Over 400,000 people have used Upstart to pay off their credit card debt or meet their financial goals. Free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt and get back to using your money your way with Upstart. See why Upstart has a 4.9 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot. And hurry to upstart.com/nostalgia to find out how low your Upstart rate can be. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes. That's upstart.com/nostalgia. This is Doug Walker saying, go to upstart.com/nostalgia today.
A man and his cat losing their minds over stamps.
It was Upstart this
Sounds
week.
like something out of the fifth dimension. Lucky for you, that's just where we're headed. This October, I'll be reviewing the first 31 episodes of The Twilight Zone, right here on Channel Awesome. That's one video per day, all month long. Join me as we explore a land of both shadow and substance in a series we call The Twilight-tober Zone.
Apocalypse upgrades more mutants who have been unfairly pissed on in other adaptations. You got Children of the Atom, Psylocke, count your victories. Magneto goes to get revenge on the men who outed him before he's so rudely interrupted.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, still riding that one F-bomb you're allowed. You're not gonna recapture the magic of this.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm not here for them. I'm here for you.
Sorry, my heart belongs to Xavier. I do like that Apocalypse takes his revenge away, encouraging Magneto to take his anger out on humanity. But tell me if this scene works, where he takes him back to where he watched his parents die.
This is where your power was born, and this is where your people were slaughtered.
You shouldn't have brought me here.
Are you afraid to be here?
Can you really take this that seriously with Spirit Halloween hanging out in the background? The first film kept the imagery pretty grounded here. Yes, there were superpowers being used, but we didn't see Mortal Kombat Swimsuit Edition distracting us. I'm just waiting for her to say,
Too bad you will die.
Apocalypse teaches him to be an earthbender as Mystique is reunited with Xavier.
Have a seat. It's good to see you, Raven. Welcome home.
This isn't my home.
You know, that's another really big problem. All the relationships built in the past two films are kept separated for most of this film. And even when they do meet up, they're not happy to see each other.
Raven, you're back.
When Wolverine sees Rogue again, it's nice. You feel like they have a connection. When someone meets up here, they might give you a look if you're lucky, but they mainly just talk.
Charles wants students, not soldiers.
He thinks the best of people. He has hope.
Everyone just looks miserable in this movie. X-Men can be dark, but it's supposed to be fun too, and nobody's having fun in this. Well, okay, we'll get to that in a minute, but first Apocalypse uses his powers to launch all the world's missiles into space. You know, for a guy who wants to destroy the world, he had a pretty good chance right there. But Apocalypse senses Xavier's powers and breaks in. Oh no, the school's in danger, that's new. Yoink! Epic uses his Care Bear stare, but accidentally hits the jet, blowing everything up. Look out! Fun! So this is the only scene where the film's pretty enjoyable. Quicksilver, played again by Evan Peters, moves so fast he saves everyone before the explosion kills them. All to the song Sweet Dreams. Yes, I'm aware I'm bitching about Singer doing the same thing he does in his other movies, and this is beat by beat a rip-off of the last flick, but this film is so uninteresting, even a rip-off of something fun I'll accept as something fun. It's clever, it's energized, and for a series that embraced whatever decade it was in, this is the only section that really has an 80s feel to it. If they had these effects at the time, you would totally see this in an 80s comedy. But, all good things. Oh, I forgot I turn blue whenever Annie Lennox plays.
They look up to you.
That's not what they need.
Thank God I saved some makeup artists their paychecks. But Cyclops realizes Havoc was lost in the blast. While you're no doubt bawling at the loss of his brother who had so little interaction you'd never figure out they were brothers unless you were told, this does bring up a good question. Who's the main character in this? I mean, I know one of the criticisms of these flicks is that Wolverine gets too much focus, and I do understand that, but at least there is a focus. Even First Class, with how well that balanced all its characters, it still focuses on Xavier, Magneto, and Mystique as the primaries. There's about an hour of the movie left, and I still have no idea who the leads are. It's not like Infinity War or Endgame where most of these people had their own movie prior. I've never seen this Cyclops before. I've never seen this Jean before, or Nightcrawler. They're clearly different from the other films, so some time should be dedicated for getting to know them, and I feel like I don't know shit about them. But come on, that all had to be pushed aside for this entirely pointless out-of-nowhere subplot where Stryker comes in and kidnaps everybody to take him to a military base.
Get in the pilot sets, don't let them take off. I can't reach the pilots, I can't reach anyone.
Why is that? Okay, gotta get to the cash bomb we dropped for Hugh Jackman.
You know him? Magneto?
Speaking of out of nowhere, Quicksilver reveals he's actually Magneto's son. Oh, now you want to follow the comic? What a completely random time to do it!
Why do you care so much? You see a speech on TV or something?
He's my father. I met him 10 years back, but I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, I stay away from this man. Singer and subplots about fathers don't mix.
You will send a message to every living mind.
Meanwhile, on a Pure Flix set, Apocalypse tells Xavier to send a telepathic message to the world about its impending destruction. You know, give him a heads up.
I might play a role in this madness.
You have the most important role of all.
I'm the hostage, aren't I?
How did you know?
I'm always the hostage! Meanwhile, look! Wolverine's wearing the thing! I know the scene affects nothing and we wasted dozens of minutes to do it, but Wolverine's wearing the thing! Wolverine's wearing the thing! You've got X-Men!
Scott, wait.
Oh, and speaking of odd moments I don't want to think about, I know technically Wolverine's been alive decades longer than most, but him meeting Jean as a kid knowing he's gonna want to bonk her in the future is a little Breaking Dawn-ish. Or, wait, does that not occur too? What happened to these movies, man?
I found a piece of his past and gave it back to him. Just a few memories I could reach.
Well, can someone return you giving a shit? Because that was clearly missing from that line.
Well, that's the last we've seen of that guy.
The students are freed, and we abandon this completely unneeded detour to see Apocalypse and his horsemen are beginning to destroy the world. Alright, so this is usually where the big epic set piece goes, say fighting on top of the Statue of Liberty, lifting the Golden Gate Bridge, moving a stadium. But here's something I bet you haven't seen in a movie yet. CG buildings getting destroyed! It barely even registers we've seen this shit so many times. I mean, who's gonna leave this film saying, yeah, it was pretty dull, but they do that thing we've been watching 20 straight years of? Whoa, I haven't seen the guy who directed Boring Superman try that. I'm in!
Seven's Wonder, 12 o'clock.
The X-Men fly in to try and stop him while Apocalypse tries to transfer his body into Xavier's. Huh. Don't remember Psylocke using her power as a lasso, but this is coming up, so snip snip.
Mistake.
I know you think you've lost everything, but you haven't. You have more family than you know.
Yes, talk softly to get his attention. I'm sure he'll hear you over the literal end of the world. I should point out, by the way, that Lawrence got a lot of flack in this movie for apparently not trying, and I kinda disagree. Everyone in the movie has a downer way of saying their lines that gets very old very fast, but this is one of the few characters where I feel like it works. She is on the verge of giving up. She does feel like she's betrayed herself and her cause, so I totally buy the defeated performance that she usually gives.
You know, I really believed that once. I really believed we could change them after DC. Just because there's not a war doesn't mean there's peace.
That is... except when she's in the blue makeup.
Forget everything you think you know. I'm gonna go fight for what I have left. None of that matters.
She is bizarrely awful when that stuff is on her, and all I can figure is she wants out of it so bad, it's all she can focus on.
That's what I've come here to tell you.
There is a bubble bath of makeup remover waiting for you. Say the stupid lines and you can swim in it.
I'm here for my family too.
Quicksilver doesn't tell Magneto that they're related, nor does he in the next movie, so you figure out the point of that. But it looks like the guy who can fly crashes in a falling airplane. Have fun figuring out that one too.
Charles!
I'm here to give you the only other cool scene in the movie. Can we just call this series X-Man and only make it about him? Apocalypse figures out how to stop him, but Xavier goes inside his head to give you a scene where he's finally big. Yay! Trailers found a way to trick the fans again! Even Magneto decides to fight for good.
You betrayed me.
I betrayed them.
Mystique's acting was so unmoving, it moved me. And remember all those people who said, if Singer did the Phoenix Saga, he would have done it right. Well, here you go. Another internet what if, totally sodomized by reality. Remember, aliens are gonna give me the Firebird in the next movie, so I have no idea what this is! Apocalypse is surprisingly easy to kill, and everyone unites except for Psylocke. Yeah, check out that look. She's totally coming back. She'll get her revenge in X-Men. Psylocke and Dazzler rock the world.
I think our prayers were answered.
So half the planet's a sandbox, but forgive and forget.
I was right about Raven. I was even right about you.
You may want to hide because you are wanted for literally everything. Oh, I'm totally giving that Storm Girl another shot, though. Just because she was a horseman of the apocalypse doesn't mean she should do jail time. Oh, did I say yet that Singer likes to repeat the same shit?
Doesn't it ever wake you up in the middle of the night? The feeling that one day they'll come for you.
I feel a great swell of pity for the poor soul.
You never have a plan. Stop pretending you do. Let's wrap this up with Lawrence acting like she's eyeing that turpentine shower.
You're not kids anymore. You're not students. You're X-Men.
Turner's sitting there thinking, just once I like to wrap up a series on a high note. I can't watch where this franchise is going. So that was X-Men Apocalypse, and much like a real apocalypse, it was over before it even started. When I first saw it, I guess I viewed it as just another Singer X-Men movie, so I kinda lowered my standards. But that's precisely the problem. It just does what those other films over 15 years old have done, minus the charm. Without a main character, without any new ideas, without any real focus, you notice the problems even more. Yeah, those early flicks had issues, but they also had memorable characters, cool fights, and decent enough discussions about prejudice and where society could be going. This tries to do so much of the same, yet somehow misses all those key elements. It's like recreating a beautiful cake, but it's made out of salt and salmon. You're clearly missing the important ingredients. The things that should stay the same are changed, and the things that should change stay the same. There just isn't any good consistency. Thank God for films like Logan and First Class, because they remind me that this premise can work cinematically. But it has to be given to those who can add more to it rather than take away. Like an expired wine, it only gets fouler with age.
Okay, I think I finally got this down.
Oh, look, man, too many things have changed. I really think you should scrap it and start from scratch.
But I got Wolverine in this one. Check it out.
Go ahead.
I used to be a blood-hungry animal, but after Xavier's school, I've learned to be a role model of hope for teens all over the world.
Fucking everyone's dead in the fucking desert with no fucking light at the end of the fucking tunnel. Come here, you fucking psychos trying to fucking kill me.
Jesus, blood is literally flying from the screen.
It's okay. It gets better.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Rogue.
Hey, here we go.
When I'm not throwing cards or flipping giant robots, I'm flying around the world beating up anybody who gets in my way.
All right, now that's what I'm talking about.
Xavier's school turned me from an angsty teen depressed by everything into one of the coolest mutants who ever lived. I'm an angsty teen depressed by everything.
God damn it!
Please don't come near me. That might put a smile on my face, and that would make me sad.
All right, what is going on here? I mean, there's altering timelines, and then there's just insanity!
Yeah, this does seem comedically specific.
Somebody is behind this, and I demand that they show themselves. Well, come on, who are you?
Go to Hogwarts! It's a better school! Hold on!
Sorry, I just love a double punchline.
I'm gonna go fight for what I have left.
Hey, Doug Walker here, and friends. Once again, doing the charity shout out and in tie-in to battling the coronavirus and helping those that have been affected by the coronavirus. This week we're doing Give Directly. This is a charity that has been doing great work even before all of this was happening, and give you a little bit more detail on that. Give Directly is the first and the largest nonprofit that lets donors send money directly to the world's poorest. They believe people living in poverty deserve the dignity to choose for themselves how to best improve their lives, and right now vulnerable families have lost their jobs, can't pay rent, and need help now. So together we can make a difference by quickly delivering the money they need. So this is a really cool site. If you go there, you can sort of see the various places you can donate to and communities you can help, and there is a section for COVID-19 where you can go and you can direct, to where it goes and who it goes to, and it's just a really, really good organization. If you check them out, there's just all this past history of all the great work they've done and all the people they've helped and the amounts they've raised and everything. It's just a really, really good place. Again, has 4 stars on Charity Navigator, so definitely check it out. See if there's anything you can share. If not, just share the link. That'd be fantastic. It's a really, really good organization. Thank you so much and take care.